Anybody who knows me personally knows that I don't want children. I just don't like the idea of ever being a parent. When I was growing up, we had some in my neck of the woods. It was called Big Buddy, Little Buddy. It was basically like a mentorship program where it would be like a person like maybe my age would probably like be a mentor to a little kid or something like that. So, I never did it, but like the one thing I do know is that like I like kids to enough to mentor them or to like maybe be I would totally be a teacher. You know what I mean? But I would never want to have kids of my own. Never in a million years. Like I both don't envy and do respect parents because with everything that is going on in like the past couple decades, if not historically in this country, it always sort of like surprises me that there are some people out there that are willing to say, with everything that's going on, all this bad stuff, we're gonna have our kids and we're gonna do this thing right. I Part of me, I have nothing but respect for that optimism, for that passion and things like that, but I don't envy it. You know, I mean, I blame being an American from my completely insular viewpoint on this, but I'm convinced that the whole world is just chock full of people who are trying to win the world's best sociopath competition. Because in order for me to have kids, I would have to completely ignore all of the all of the people that want to do things to your child that you would not want anyone to do to your child. And the fact that those people, we don't know who these people are. We don't know who these folks are. So they could be anyone. Because so at some point, you have a reason to be paranoid when you're a parent. Because especially nowadays, Uvalde, Texas had a school shooting, elementary school shooting. I mean, like, in order for me to want to be a parent, I'm not trying to make this about me, but I'm just saying, in order for me to want to be a parent, I would have to ignore that shooting and just assume that it will probably never happen at a school that I would put my kid in. Columbine, Sandy Hook, Parkland, now Uvalde, Texas. And those are just the four that I remember. And those are just the four that only happen at a school. Heck, let's not even talk about the fact that, like nightclubs, post offices, abortion clinics. What I'm trying to, it is weird how obsessed with guns this nation is. You know what I mean? And you would think that seeing a bunch of kids get murdered at a school would be like the thing that just make everybody just universally agree, okay, maybe we gotta do something. But that's not the case. Laws get put in the Senate and Republicans be like, well, if everybody had a gun, then maybe it wouldn't have happened. Or the Democrats are trying to stop us from being real Americans. Because, these are things that need to be discussed for years on end about what goes on, bro. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and do a little, just be a little transparent with y'all. When I was a kid growing up, I was being bullied. Columbine happened, and I remember saying one time that I was going to bring some martial harm to some kids that were picking on me. Because I was tired of it. They just never stopped. They were relentless. This was like a daily thing with these people. 5 days a week of just getting harassed. Why didn't you tell the teachers? Because the teachers couldn't stop it. It was that many kids. You didn't get picked on by just one kid. You know what I mean? You only, it was always like a mob thing. And the kids were, insufferable. But what I'm bringing up is that, I said these things as a kid growing up. I got expelled for saying that I was going to do these things. I never had access to a gun. I never had access to a bomb. I would just say these things because it was the only thing that was going to get these people to stop. But never once in my brain would I ever actually even considered it. I held a gun and got scared. What can I say? I'm a softie. I actually like people. So it always sort of like pains me to see that there's people out there that are willing, completely committed to doing these things. Like, we have a mental health problem in America. We do. If Republicans want to say we don't have a gun problem, fine. Meet us halfway. We have a mental health problem. We should be prioritizing therapy, putting people in institutions to help them mentally, because we live in this country right here, that is obsessed with hurting people. Obsessed with it. And if you don't want to do anything with therapy, at the very least, Medicare, like medical stuff, so that way people who survive getting shot won't have to spend their life savings trying to get themselves patched up. Or if we can't do that, let's at least have some kind of, I don't know, higher payments, so that people can maybe move people can actually have to be able to afford the means to move out of the city, so that way they can actually, go someplace better, where it probably have a less of a chance of getting shot at school. There's a lot of ways to go about this issue. It could be social, it could be mental, it could be physical, it could be all of these things. Just one step though, man. It's really weird that you have all of these things that's happening and nothing gets done. Nothing gets done, and things only get worse. That's the reason why I don't want kids, bro. I don't want kids, because you see stuff like this and we're supposed to just get used to it. Somebody once said, yo, COVID is not going to be like, COVID is not going to, go away. We're just going to get used to it. And, it's still a pandemic. It's just wild to me, man. Like, I don't understand how. I would like to think that if you have children, if you're black, or if you just happen to just have common sense, being politically active would matter more, because of the fact that the people that are in power right now are responsible for this lack of at least congressional or government attention. The people that are in charge of things, you can get rid of those people. But people don't think that way, because the Republicans managed to cheat so much that people just became hopeless. Well, what about the Democrats? The Democrats cheat too. Listen, all I'm saying is, I don't like the Democrats either. But Donald Trump did try to cheat, and he did cause a Republican uprising at the Capitol. Not to make this too political, but on one side of the option, you have people that are at least moderately incompetent, but will at least fake like they're listening to you. Whereas you got other people who are actively trying to harm people and say, well, if everybody had a gun, then this wouldn't have happened. Also, black people are trying to replace us. At this point now, they're not even hiding it. They're not even hiding that they don't care anymore. They're basically just telling us to our faces, your life doesn't matter, my success does. And as long as people like that are in control of things, I'm personally glad that I will probably die childless, rather than put a kid on the planet, on this planet, on this earth, in this country, that's ran by sociopaths that are going to see kids get killed at school and do nothing. Oh boy, I forgot couldn't even find the stop button. I'm actually really depressed right now. Children!